Okay, so today let's have an honest conversation. Why do some people seem to have everything they want in life while others get steamrolled over and over again, right? What is the differentiating factor between someone who's successful in life and gets what they want and someone who doesn't seem to ever be close to whatever they want to achieve in life? And I believe that the answer has a lot to do with what we call mojo, or being steamrolled over, or getting bullied emotionally. And what do I mean by this, right? Very simple. Like, I've worked with a couple of successful people, and whenever I look at their traits and what they're doing for a living and how they're conducting their life, I always notice that these people are what we call the courageous hearts. These are the people who always gets what they want in life because they ask for it, and they are not easily surmountable, and they're not easily bullied into submission. And I wanted to think about the time when you were younger, right? You wanted what you wanted, you got what you wanted, and as you grew older, you became a subordinate, you had a superior, you had a supervisor, you had a manager, you had a boss, and you have all these people telling you what to do, when to do, how to do it, and what not to do. And after years of what we call this conditioning, this mental conditioning of always being subservient, being a slave to the system, we have shed our true armor, and now we are so vulnerable to the open market. We are so vulnerable to the public, and we care too much about what people think about us, and we allow people to steamroll their opinions over us. And we're always getting stamped upon. And if you're watching this right now, just pause this video for a while and ask yourself this question. Do you find yourself getting steamrolled over once in a while by your bosses, by your co-workers, by your managers, by your supervisors? And if you are, chances are it's because it's what we call a learned behavior, right? It's a learned behavior because you were not born into this world as a kitty cat, right? And what I like to tell a lot of my friends is that we were all born into this world as a lion. Roar! We go out there and we get what we want, when we want it. After years and years of being domesticated, we have been domesticated and we have been bullied over and over again. And that has allowed us to turn from lions to becoming domesticated house cats. Meow! Thought about that before? Heard about that before, right? So you think about it over and over again. We go from lions to domesticated house cats for a few reasons, right? We are afraid of losing our jobs, so we lose our courage. We are afraid of being judged. When we speak up, we lose our courage. Every single time you do something, ask yourself this. Are you doing it because you want to please someone else, or are you doing it because you want to become more courageous? For me, the answer is very simple. Everything that I do in life, my mentees, my students, I teach them the same thing over and over again. Everything that you do in life, you want to make sure that, at the end of the day, there's a very simple decision-making matrix. Is this decision-making, is this action or behavior consistent with me becoming more courageous? Or is this consistent with me being more bullied or being stepped upon and being steamrolled over and over again? So some of my younger mentees that I've, they come over to my house, they sleep over, and I teach them a lot of things about courage because they've been bullied all their lives. People laugh at them all their lives. And so there was this one time when we were walking over at Forum and we were going to a coffee bean and we were just crossing the road, the small road. And as you know, traffic rules, when a car comes by, if you have already crossed the small road prior to the car coming in, the car should slow down for you, right? But if the car is already coming in at high speed, you cross the road and obviously you're in the wrong. So we were very early, we were crossing the road the other day, and then the car was coming in and the car was simply honking the horn like no one's business. And most people would just, oh, I'm sorry, they'll walk away. But if you do that, ladies and gentlemen watching this video, ask yourself this question. How would you feel as a result of doing that? How do you feel being honked at, being steamrolled, being pushed out of the way? And what does it do for your psyche and mental being? You feel bullied. And you don't like the person that's being bullied yourself. The person that you look in the mirror in the morning, that is the person that you either like or dislike. So you need to be congruent with yourself. If you are courageous and you do and you say and you commit courageous acts, you will become a courageous being and you will be able to get whatever you want in life. And so back to the story again. So when my student was with me, and at that time he was like 20 years old or 19, I can't remember. He was jumping, afraid, he was surprised by the entire honking. So I thought, all right, that was a learnable moment for him, it was a teachable moment. So I said, wait, come back to the road. So what I did was, I just looked over the driver, just put out your hand, politely, don't do a middle finger or whatever, just politely look at the driver and do this. Wait, hold on, chill, it's my time, right? And the guy didn't get out of the car. He didn't honk further. He was just like, oh, okay, this guy simply stamping his or her courageousness, his or her courage on me, right? And they respect that for you. And he kind of yielded back and, take your time. That's one incident. Another incident was that when he was in a Grab and, he was being bullied all the time as a young boy, and the Grab drivers would give him like 1 star, 2 stars or whatever. And there was this one time, I was so proud that he did this. He saw the driver giving him a 1 star for no apparent reason. And he spoke up. He said, "Excuse me, why did you give me a 1 star?" And that guy, he has always been bullying people perhaps for his entire Grab driving career. He was so shocked, like, "Oh, no, I didn't. I actually gave you 5 stars. And then my student actually said, "Well, I saw you giving a star. I'll let you off right now, right? But I wanted to know that I don't respect what you did." Then he said sorry. Right? Isn't it crazy? Every single time you do a courageous act and you commit a courageous behavior, you actually become more courageous as a human being. Now look at yourself as a mojo, like an energy battery meter. Everything that you do simply fills up your battery meter of courageousness, or of courage, or it actually deflates and depletes your battery of courage. You've got to ask yourself every time you want to do something, you've got to be able to train this. One of the ways to do this is actually just to go out to the public and speaking your mind. If something is wrong, just speak your mind politely and firmly. So if you see someone doing something that you don't like, don't be angry about it and put it on a storm or whatever, because you're going to be just what we call a church mouse, right? You're just going to be afraid and hiding like a keyboard warrior. Speak up your mind. You don't like something, go up to them and say, "Hey, I don't think what you're doing is right, right? Can you pick up that piece of paper that you just threw out?" Right? They may say yes, they may say no, but at least whenever you do something courageous for yourself, you become a courageous being and your life's going to improve. Now, to summarize this entire video, I've spoken about a couple of things, but the most important lesson for you to take away from this video, if you learn nothing else from this video, is that you've got to be courageous, you've got to fill up your courage meter, you've got to speak up your mind politely, firmly, but not being rude, and then you've got to regain your title as a lion in the savannah that roars, rather than becoming a domesticated house cat after being steamrolled over and over again for years. Try it out. Small little acts of bravery and courage, and you will see your life being able to attract more of what you like and repel more of what you don't like. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and try out those methods I taught you today.